Um, One of the things he emphasized very strongly was the need for, and this was new thinking to me at the time, uh, you got to grow your own food. Um, Novel idea. Preppers think that food comes from buckets and packages and, anyway. And buckets of wheat and seeds and stuff. Seeds, yeah, that's the whole point. But canned goods and sardines and tuna and all that other stuff, not. Water comes from faucets and spigots, like I said, and fire hydrants. No, 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 no. So anyway, Mark said, we need to have our own food system, production system, and distribution system. And I remember him talking about, baking bread and doing everything needed for the sustainability or survival of a very large group of people. Okay. And at that point, he said, we'll hit the ground running. That's where he meant by that statement. We need to have that in process. We need to have that all planned out and hit the ground running and leave no one behind. So, all right. All right, so please, back to 1632, Ring of Fire, Eric Flint. Please read the story about a community starting with under 30 square miles. Now, we're going to be starting with, they say, all or part of 93 counties. Wikipedia, Ozark Plateau. Another thing I haven't done yet. I want to get those maps done again. If anybody, people that listen to this, put a little bit of heat on Ken Updegrove. I mean, he could at least put the map out there. He doesn't have to have my name on it. It is my map, yeah, but I don't care. There's a sister listening right now who saw that map years ago and eventually linked it to me and found me online. So that map needs to be out there, and she may have a copy of it. I've been through how many phones? 3, 4 phones and 2 or 3 or 4 computers. Anyway, okay, so that map's important, and they need to redo it, but oh well. I had that in works. This gal's supposed to be printing it for me, the same sister that printed it the first time. If anybody has a color printer and can print maps of the counties, I'll tell you what one I need printed. Let me know. Okay. So these people in this story started with under 30 square miles, smack in the middle of Germany, right in the middle of a horrific decades-long war. They take in German refugees, peasants of the day, 1632 Germany, collect food, they manufacture, they school, they plan, and they fight their way to extend the principles of freedom as far and wide as possible. When prisoners are photographed and released with the warning that they have 2 days to get out of American territory, and if ever seen there again, would be immediately killed without a trial, one prisoner asks, just how big is this United States? When he looks into the eyes of the American leader, he figures Russia ought to be far enough to run. This book is starting with a 3-mile radius ring, or circle of fire around a safe zone. I have now for 13 years seen a 100-mile radius circle, 120-mile radius circle or ring of fire, literally, spiritually, ring of angels with drawn swords, flaming swords, around a safe region. Okay. And now, I'm going to read this, and this is from who knows when and where and what year, and the year don't really matter, out there in the Ozark Plateau in the back hills. It's the closest to everlasting. All right. Some additional thoughts on prepping and survivalism. I have a long-term and whole life view of what is normally termed prepping. It does not involve the normal prepping mindset, which after about 2.5 decades, I rejected as being unworkable in real life. Basically, rejected it in total, almost in total. Well, the basic mindset. Okay, shut up, read it. I pulled the plug on that mindset and relocated. basically to what preppers would call my bug out location. Okay. And that is where my entire family lives, on a rural Missouri farm surrounded by hundreds of other farms owned by other good people. Get the message? On one forum one time, somebody asked a question. I think it was on Prepared Society. Real good forum, good moderation. Somebody asked, what would you do if you went to your bug out location and had to stay there for the rest of your life? And I was like, duh, that's what you're supposed to do. I just replied in like, I did, we did, and we love it. Love it. I did, and we love it. 6 words. We did and we love it, Yeah. That's what that's the ideal that you're supposed to do, in my estimation of reality. Okay. This is my take on what I call the survivalist mentality, aka the prepper mindset. Granted, prepping of any kind is good, even if it is only mentally and emotionally, which is where I started. Something I cultivated systematically by reading survivalist post-toasty novels for the last 30 years. Whatever you do may mean the difference between life and death for you and your family. Reading that literature, big point here, and then I realized this after the years went by, reading that literature was, to a large extent, what led me to decide to get the hell out of a big city and just change my entire lifestyle. Downsize, simplify, lighten the load, etc. Cut your losses and burn your bridges. Okay? But live where I would want to escape to when the shit hit the fan. And a lot of you are doing that. A lot of people listening to me right now are doing that, in process of doing that, or have done that. So, kudos, that's the message. So all of that reading was what did, in reality, help me prepare physically as well. I mean that it forced me to totally rethink the quote-unquote survivalist mentality to the point of making a massive relocation decision in 3 stages, actually. And they're not done yet, I don't think. So much death and destruction that is to happen will happen because of the survivalist mentality.